Ja, dann herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge im ChefTreff-Podcast. Und ich spreche heute mit den beiden Gründerinnen des Digital Native Fashion Retailers DRESSX aus Los Angeles, den USA. Und zwar mit der lieben Daria Shapovalova und der Natalia Modenova. And now I'm going to switch to English because the two female founders are from the Ukraine, living in the United States. Very warm welcome, dear Daria, dear Natalia.
Thank you so much. Hi.
Hi, Sven.
Herzlich willkommen zu ChefTreff, dem Future Retail Podcast von Sven Rittau. Im Gespräch mit den Machern und Innovatoren der digitalen Handelsszene.
Zu Beginn eine kurze Werbung von unserem heutigen Werbepartner Commerce Tools. Große Marken wie Audi, Danone oder Promote nutzen sie bereits. Commerce Tools, die führende Digital-Commerce-Lösung auf dem Markt, die außergewöhnliche Kundenerlebnisse möglich macht. Die Software bildet die ideale Grundlage für Composable Commerce und führt so zu erheblich niedrigeren Gesamtbetriebskosten. Durch das Composable Commerce-Prinzip könnt ihr genau die Komponenten auswählen, die ihr benötigt, und sie in eure bestehende Architektur integrieren. Weitere Vorteile von Composable Commerce sind die hohe Agilität und Flexibilität, außergewöhnliche Skalierbarkeit, niedrigere Entwicklungskosten und vieles mehr. Zwar ist die Umstellung auf Commerce Tools mit Vorlaufkosten verbunden, doch ihr könnt schnell richtig gute Ergebnisse erzielen. Spannende Beispiele, Details und Fakten findet ihr auch im Commerce Tools White Paper Total Cost of Ownership of Headless Commerce. Den Link dazu findet ihr in den Shownotes.
Hi, you guys are actually not from the United States. I think you both are from Kiev, from the Ukraine, right?
Yes,
Correct.
that's true.
Okay, cool. And the company we've done here is like it's evening, it's nighttime, and you guys are like 9 hours back. So my first question is, what is DRESSX all about? Because of course, I've done my homework, and I had the privilege also to speak to Carrie Murphy from the Fabricant. So we had them on the show as well. But you guys have a completely different approach to digital fashion. So maybe in a few words you can bring us up to speed.
Cool. So let me start, and then if you don't mind, also direct the question to myself or Natalia, so that will be easier for us to answer. So basically, DRESSX was started 2.5 years ago out of Los Angeles. We both moved previously, but you're right that we're both from Ukraine, and both worked in the fashion industry for many years. I started as a journalist, and I had my TV show and interviewing the major designers. Like I've interviewed Karl Lagerfeld, for example, 10 times. He was the best person always to interview. Okay. And and then I switched to building a fashion week in Ukraine that puts Ukraine in the world's fashion map. And then together with Natalia, we started a showroom in Paris. So we actually understood a lot of things about traditional fashion and physical fashion. And we were working with top biggest retailers in the world, selling them the clothes of contemporary designers. And we realized that there are a number of issues that fashion industry is facing, and consumers do too. It's hard for them to choose. 30% of their wardrobes remain in the landfills. And at the same time, the pandemic was happening in 2020, exactly when we were already cooking the company and something new. We already know we wanted to be in fashion tech, but DRESSX idea was not firmly formed yet. And we thought of if the result of all of our wearing the items is that we want to show it off to other people, and we can't go outside, but we can show it off on social media, and what it means and what would it mean if we can just purchase an item that does not exist in reality and that we can just superimpose on a picture, because it was not possible in 2020 still to go to the street freely, and to do any shoots or something, but people still wanted to express themselves. You remember how people started to use TikToks and all the other social media, and we were okay, we need to create a retailer actually that will sell digital clothing. And retailer like Farfetch or Net-a-Porter or any other retailer we've been working with in the past, but it was only digital clothing that can eventually form your digital wardrobe. So that's how we started DRESSX as your digital wardrobe, your meta closet. It was pre-metaverse in the sense that the word metaverse was not the biggest trend back then, which was good because we sensed this change in the society and we were able to launched the company. Fabricant was already there, so kudos to them to be like the first one as a brand. We launched as the first retailer, the international scale, where we sold the number of brands, and Fabricant was one of the first brands. So we basically see a lot of synergies between the companies, but as you mentioned, we are very much different and we have different missions and visions. And we believe this is only great that there are a number of companies that exist in the space. Its space is super new, super young, and in order to prove its way for existence and its opportunity to scale to billions of dollars, as we all see it and want, we need to have several companies that are kind of different and they do different things. And that's exactly why we continue to work with companies like Fabricant and those who started back then.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. So Natalia, can you walk us through the business model of a digital native fashion retailer a bit?
Of course, with a pleasure. And we say that DRESSX is your meta closet of digital-only clothes, NFT fashion items, and AR looks. And what it means is that from the user kind of interface, it's a store which has multiple faces. We are on the web. You can go to the website and purchase the item with your credit card. You can also purchase an NFT with a crypto and wear this item as well. You can also download the mobile app, and we are both on iOS and Android, and start experiencing digital fashion right there through your camera, just paying the fraction of a price of a physical item. Usually it's around from 1 to kind of 10% of a value of the physical item, of the price of a physical item, because the value that it brings is actually beyond that. And also with all of that, we are the ecosystem for fashion and actually non-fashion brands, because we already brought Coca-Cola into the world of digital fashion, and other brands are also getting there. So basically, it's your portal to this ecosystem to launch your line of digital fashion. So from the business perspective, we charge the users, we charge the clients a certain price to buy the digital fashion item. But also for the brands, there is an opportunity to leverage from their solutions that we build, like instant photo dressing, for example, that they can implement to their website and give an opportunity for their customers to wear digital fashion item even before they receive a physical. So that part is more like a SaaS. But for us, the main person and the main persona is a user. So even through the brand partnership, our goal is to serve the client, to serve a person and give them a possibility to start wearing digital fashion and building their meta closet with DRESSX.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I understand. I mean, it's all very early, and the adoption still has to come, right? But I mean, I have grown-up kids, so I mean, I know they're all into gaming, and I'm like humble enough to not judge any generation after me. But maybe you can also explain us some examples where this has already created momentum, because for many people feel like, okay, why should I wear a digital item? But this is already happening. I think you work with Meta, you work with Roblox. So I don't know, Daria, maybe you can share some of the drops you made already and the impact you have, right?
Sure, happy to start here. So basically, I also do have a kid, as you do, but mine is not that grown up, so he still plays Roblox on a daily basis. So at a certain point of time, I started to realize that actually for him, digital goods that he purchases for his avatar are way more important than the goods that he has in his physical wardrobe, because he's not interested in fashion stores like at all. He doesn't want to go there, etc. But he would like ask me, Mom, can you give me Robux? I need to dress my avatar. So I started to kind of look at what he's doing, and it was pre our collaboration with Roblox. And then I understood that really it's like exactly our vision, but it is reflected in the eyes and the minds of the younger generation. He's 10 years old. But in 5-6 years, he will be like a huge spender. We all understand that. And his peers will be too. And so for them, this notion of dressing my avatar and having a separate digital wardrobe is so into like a DNA of what they're doing on a daily basis. It's even hard to explain. You just need to see it at home and to experience. So that was very interesting. And we started to work with Roblox March of last year. So we do drops of items on almost like weekly basis. Now we're also starting to work with native Roblox creators. And this is something new we're going to do. We're super excited. The first drop is coming this May, so pretty soon, in a few days. And we also started to do limited items in Roblox. So it's important to remember that Roblox is purely Web2 environment, as Meta is as well. But we see that, and probably you have seen this, or maybe your listeners did not, so that's why I will repeat. In Meta, people already created 1 billion avatars. So the adoption is huge, and the amount of like avatar usage in Roblox is huge as well. So yes, the market is still young and new, but if we're talking about social media and kind of gaming use case, skins were always there. We're just moving this notion into social media environments. And Roblox is like social media / gaming, because like my son David, he talks there with other kids. He like uses it as messenger, so it's a little bit of a different stuff. So yeah, that's how we started to work with them. We see a lot of potential. We actually see our sales growing super fast for some of those platforms we work with. Unfortunately, we can't disclose everything and all the metrics as we're under NDA, but some of those is available live, like Roblox, for example. And you can see DRESSX as a creator of the items, and there are a few that are like super cool, and my son David bought them as well because he liked them.
Okay, so your company DNA, Natalia, is like you're a digital fashion retailer, but then you're also a facilitator, an enabler who bring together like platforms and designers on the one hand, and then also you run a marketplace for NFTs people bought, right? So it's a lot of activities you're actually trying at the moment. Is that correct?
Thank you for this question, because it's really important to put the clarity on it. So we position DRESSX as a meta closet. Some people say, oh, like you're the Web3 company, and it was a big honor actually to receive the recognition from Fast company as one of the top 10 most innovative company in a Web3 and a metaverse space. Along with, by the way, Roblox, along with Ethereum Foundation, and OpenAI was like number 1 in this list. It's great. However, we are not solely a Web3 company, for example. And we are not just an app, and we are not just a marketplace. That's the beauty of building something that has not been there before, that has not been created before. And we believe that Meta Closet is exactly this new tool, this model, where you can go and discover digital fashion, like on a marketplace, where you can discover new names in the digital fashion field as well, where you can actually have a utility, which is very unique to DRESSX feature, where you can wear your NFT, right? And wear not just in one space in Decentraland, for example. You can have multiple utilities for that. So that's the beauty of building that something that is innovation.
Yeah, and I'm not like I always think that like if someone starts screaming business model in the early stages, then you kill any innovation. So as I understand, I mean I've been in the game, not in your game, but in the company building game for a long time, and I think that it's maybe already too early to tell which bet is really will be paying off. For what you're trying to create. One thing I was stumbling across was the question of interoperability of like blockchain technologies, and like connectivity and ownership. Because when and it's the same with blockchain adoption. From my perspective, it's still not intuitive. It's not like super fluid. So how do you manage this? That all these different layers and stuff work together.
I think we're still, as an industry, on the way to find the interoperability, and it's definitely moving into there, but I don't think that any company can introduce it here and now. We definitely create, like, for example, the NFT drops that are available in augmented reality or like in Ready Player Me or in some other environments, but it will definitely take time for all the companies unite and to say this is the standard and we're all using the same standard. Sometimes it takes like years to happen, but at the same time, we, for example, see the future when, and we already, it's kind of the present of today, that we have one item that we redesign, repurpose for different environments. So you can already kind of use the same designs in Meta or in Roblox by DRESSX. So that's kind of what we are trying to show as of today. And what's interesting is that we usually see that the same items and the same styles are popular in different platforms, because in the end it's about like people's perception on what they want to look like, and there are several tiers of people of what they love to wear in like the different environments. But yes, interoperability, it depends on how we access this notion, because like the full interoperability is like quantum computing will happen in dozens of years probably. Maybe Natalia has something to add.
To add on that point, we have to like distinguish actually interoperability of the 3D files and interoperability of the ownership. So it's not just the one problem when we are solving this interoperability issue, right? And we address DRESSX with examples of having one item utilized across different 3D environments, showing that it's definitely solvable interoperability of the 3D files, but also we already see examples when with Web3 use cases when interoperability of the ownership is definitely possible. And actually within our partnership in Meta, you can kind of have a sense of it, because items that we created for the avatar shop can be worn on Instagram, but also in VR, but also in a WhatsApp as a sticker. So there is already this vision and feeling of interoperability is happening, and it's happening step by step, and it's exciting to build it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very good point, Natalia, that you actually have like when you have like Meta, you have like the metaverse, and but also you have like, of course, Instagram, WhatsApp, which belongs to this conglomerate. And what I find super intriguing is that you also can combine like events from the digital world. Like when I think I've read that you had a drop with like Beyonce, and then you have like combine it and in Decentraland and Roblox, where actually then the fan base of someone very popular then can be addressed with a digital item shown on a real fashion show. And I think that this is like something like super cool. So like I don't know how you manage to do that, because I think that because also these people have to be aware that this is a huge market they can tap into, right, Natalia?
It's a see now buy now concept that we introduced. You mentioned here when we piloted it with Paris Fashion Week show in Opera, grand fashion show with Dundas, fashion designer creating for Beyonce, for like queens, for the red carpet, and we gave an opportunity to wear something that people are so excited to see on a runway, right? At the moment when the show is happening, even before the show, it's pretty unique experience. So people were excited, and I believe that more and more items from different brands and creators will become available with like see now buy now, because this is the technology, and we as a fashion tech company provide this opportunity to experience fashion in a different way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and Daria, I think your company has from the start the sustainability label written all over it. So it's and I think one of the claims was don't shop less, shop digital fashion. Can you already see the maybe it's just a dent in history, but also the trend, something you can actually create, that you take out waste, or that things are moving in the right direction with your company?
Yeah, so basically we were one of the first companies to introduce this concept for sustainability in digital fashion. Moreover, we have a patent being made with in the United States with the Patent Bureau about the calculation of how much resources is being used for creating the digital item versus physical item. And we already implemented the result of this methodology that we have patented on a website. So for the majority of the products, you will see how much water you were able to save in this digital item, comparing if you would buy it in a physical version, and how much CO2 as well. It will be also reflected in our DRESSX app very soon. And we also publish sustainability reports almost half a year. And we do hold sustainability conferences. So the next one is upcoming end of June. So where we will present our new report and also invite stakeholders of the industry to speak up, and some of our partners who were working with us, because also a part of our activities with different brands is that we eventually provide them with sustainability reports as well, to show them how much resources they've saved while switching some parts of their production into digital fashion. And we think it's super important, and we should not underestimate the value of sustainability for the new generations and those who really think twice if they need to buy something in physical or in digital, because you can wear it on your avatar. You can wear a metaverse item on your avatar in Meta, let's say, or in Ready Player Me or Roblox or any other environment, and then keep your physical wardrobe more on a simple side. So it depends. For some people, it will be like that. And that's what we say, and that's what we advocate for. Don't shop less, shop digital fashion. So you can actually continue to support the brands that you love, and they will receive the revenue from you, but you will do that in a digital reality. That's why we push this notion. And I think it's also important to mention here that the fourth person who joined our company, first or fifth, anyway, it's one of the first employees that started with us was our Chief Sustainability Officer, and she is with the company now and continue to serve as Chief Sustainability Officer for DRESSX, being behind all of those initiatives that we do, because we think it's really important. It's one of the pillars. And actually, this problem of sustainability in fashion industry, it's one of the largest one. So that's why for us, it's so cool to see at least a small change that we can do. Maybe we won't be one company that do it, but maybe we will start the movement and everyone else will join. And that's why we do all these public things like summits, for example. Though it's not a part of our main service, but we just want to give back to the industry and to make them learn about it because it's important for us. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. But you mentioned brands, and I can imagine that, when you started, even before Facebook turned themselves into Meta, and then it seemed to me quite difficult to convince major brands. I've read through your file, Dolce & Gabbana and Jason Wu and whatever. So like a lot of people to actually collaborate with you to create stuff in the digital world, in the Web3 environment. And what made that change? Was it the Meta move by Mark Zuckerberg, or is it something else, or it's just your persistence and your sympathetic, I don't know, conviction, I don't know, whatever. What is it that made them change their mind?
Natalia,
maybe.
Start?
I would say it's multiple factors because when we came to the brands with this first idea, it was like an interesting thing, but for larger fashion brands, it's important, yes, to be the first doing something, but still to see some kind of track record. And also we managed at DRESSX to build this track record with our own in-house brand in design, with the 3D designers who were also building the space from the very beginning and continue doing digital fashion and being a 3D fashion designer. This whole category, this whole new profession appeared. So that was, of course, a factor. When Meta renamed themselves and Metaverse became the word that you have to use in any conversation, and you have to do something about it. Of course, it was another kind of push forward in a kind of public consciousness, and all the NFT hype as well. And you mentioned Dolce & Gabbana, success of their drop definitely pushed other brands to understand that definitely there is a big opportunity and they need to jump into it. They need to start moving into this direction, do something. So I think it's a multiple factors, but it's always important to have a track record. And we accumulated so much data with all the use cases and with all the partnerships that we've built, that it really a unique position where we understand what is the kind of differences and what are the similarities of different 3D worlds or different approaches. Should it be AR or should it be like VR, or what kind of digital presence brings what results?
Okay. And how many items do you have on stock, Daria, at the moment? And what are the top sellers?
Yeah, it's over like 3,500 now. And top bestsellers is interesting. It's either people want to purchase something like super metaversey looking, or they want to purchase like sweatshirts with the DRESSX logo. So it's two different trends for sure. And obviously, like whatever is that we push in social media and on influencers is definitely attracting a lot of attention. But there are like few bestsellers that were there at DRESSX from the very beginning, and people continue to wear them. And it's interesting to see that. But definitely when we started to work with avatars environments and social media, when people dress avatars, we see a lot of interesting things like what colors are working, how people want to dress themselves, and etc. There are certain trends, like when like specific color is super popular and it becomes popular wherever, like in all the Web2, Web3 environments. It's interesting. So it's like in the traditional fashion, I would say, trends come and go. Definitely there are like a number of groups within these consumers that do like selection according to certain rules like metaverse and non-metaverse, but then we can go deeper in each of the group. And yes, DRESSX scales significantly in the number of items because we do work with big brands, but we also do work a lot with 3D designers who are actually becoming better and better every month. And especially with the introduction of AI, like Midjourney, now almost anyone can become a designer. And this is such an amazing democratization of fashion and digital fashion. There are more tools, and we internally started to use a lot of Midjourney as well, and DALL-E and all of like generative AI. And it's fascinating to see the growth, and that will also accelerate the growth for digital fashion, which is great. We will all benefit. I mean, those people in the space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great timing, I would say. When I usually talk my show is always about retailers and brands and mostly in the physical world, with the exception of Carrie so far. And I was just curious, like how do you actually manage growth? Because usually, say like you grow the assortment, you go international, you open up, from Germany, you go to France, you go to whatever, Slovakia, or you go to across the big pond to the United States, and the other way around. And for you, how do you tackle the market potential? Like, how do you look at the market and the segments? Is it gaming, fashion industry, collaborations with influencers on social media, or how do you try to tackle and tackle the world and to put it in digestible, snackable portions? I don't know, Natalia.
What do you want?
Yeah.
I can start. I'm sure Daria will have a lot to add on it as well. For us, the big goal is to sell 1 billion items. So we are getting to this goal through different channels that are available to us. Of course, like influencers and this content creators category are people who kind of faster understood the need and the inevitable way towards having the digital wardrobes as well. Because their presence online is a little bit higher than the presence of an average person, but all of us are spending more and more time online, and all of us are asking, just like in physical life, a question in the morning: what should I wear today? And same, every time you connect to any of the digital spaces, you have this idea like, okay, what am I going to wear today? And here, DRESSX comes with an answer, whether you are an avatar in your Decentraland or your meta avatar, or if you are playing Roblox with your kid. This is the answer. So you're wearing something from DRESSX because it's your wardrobe, because you have something for any time. So this is how we grow. So more and more people adopt digital behaviors. And definitely fashion is the first thing you need for your presence.
Yeah.
Except with internet connection.
Yeah, Daria, maybe we can dwell on that, because from a business strategy point of view, it's like, I know you have funding, but you still have, anyone has limited resources, right? So you have it's you two and then your team, and you cannot tackle all the markets. So what are the hypothesis where you think you can accelerate growth, reaching the 1 billion digital items you want to sell? Is that
that's a very good question.
Disclosing any super secrets from your company? But it's like how you see the world, because I think you see it differently than the physical people I have here on my show.
Both worlds will coexist. That's what's very interesting about it. So basically, that's why we started to work with Web 2 environments. We understand that Web 3 environments is amazing. It's still kind of Web 2.5. And there are a lot of complications of how to simply use blockchain powered assets on a daily basis, how to connect your wallet, etc., how to pay for crypto. So it's still a very small amount of people who truly understand that. And comparing to those who use Web2 environments, when you can just log in onto Facebook, I'm sure everyone's listeners' parents are somewhere on Meta environments, Facebook, etc., Facebook Messenger. So it's very straightforward. So for us, we understood that we need to go where people are. And if people are on social media, if they are on TikTok, so then we need to create a utility app for everyone to produce the content for social media from the DRESSX app that is available on iOS and Android. It's easy to share all the content to social media, and there are billions of people who use social media on a daily basis. Obviously, we still did not sell billion digital items, and definitely this is something that drives us, but we see the opportunity here because imagine even Meta, they announced they have billion avatars, And if you go to Meta Avatar store, and it's available in Germany, by the way, so you will see the number of items that you can wear, both paid and unpaid, from different brands, and DRESSX is one of those, and we were one of the first companies to start working with them. And we see that as a very fruitful partnership. So let's say if everyone becomes familiar, even half of people becomes familiar with their avatars in Meta and will want to dress themselves once, we almost reached the goal. 500 million items sold. Yes, that's the thing. But we're talking with Natalia a lot about that. It's sad to see that also it became a standard of the industry to gift a lot of things, to make them free, because we think that definitely more, if we all advocate for paid items, people will have the habit of paying for all of those clothes, because we do pay for physical clothes. They're not given to us for free, only to influencers, right? But not to all the people entirely. It's still $1.3 trillion industry. So there is a number of things that should be fixed, and we understand why it's happening, and etc. There is still a notion of exclusivity that is super important. But if everyone would say no, digital fashion is only paid, we would already be making everyone would be making way more money. But yes, still, it's interim. It's okay.
Yeah, I want to add here about paid versus not paid. So, for example, augmented reality is a great tool. So if every item people wore from DRESSX in a year were paid, we would already be very close to our goal. But this is happening step by step, and this is a part of the new creator economy. There is a lot of conversation how Web3 will empower creators. Big companies are also thinking how they can empower creators and how this creator economy should look like. And really, it's giving an opportunity for creators to monetize from what they do from the end users. So they don't need to become a famous AR filters creator, have billions of people try on their AR, and then have a brand coming to this try for free, and having brand coming and saying, okay, I want to hire you, now I pay you and you do it for me, and then it's distributed for free. So then it's kind of still having this intermediate party between the creator and between the audience who actually appreciates the talent, right? So I think more and more of this kind of approaches will be happening. We are testing functionality with some of our partners to add more of it. And I think just in general, creating of the digital assets, also it has a cost, but it's not only has a cost, it has a value that is brought to the user, that is brought to the final customers. This is a visual language people speak to each other. So it should be just a price tag on it. So I believe we are getting there step by step as a world.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fascinating. Cool reasoning. My two final questions, maybe. One is more why did you start in the United States? It's just you happen to be there, or is it the market bigger, or is it just opportunity, or better for Web3 stuff?
Obviously, United States is one of the biggest economies in the world, and California, famous for its tech startups and tech startup ecosystem. And that's why, yes, I moved to do my MBA in San Francisco because I really wanted to do a switch in technology. Now we'll live in Los Angeles. It's also like Silicon Beach, considered to be. So definitely access to talents, to VC money, and to so many other things. And people who come here, they usually want to build something spectacular.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so, but it's it's a smart move, I think. And the last question, I guess, goes to both of you. Is if you could go back in time and you talk to your younger self, the young Daria and the young Natalia, and you could share an insight you gained along your journey, even maybe within the fashion industry, but maybe also within the last 3 years since you set up the company. Anything that came to mind which could change the quality of your decisions. It's not about avoiding mistakes, because we all need that to grow. And it's not about stock market picking. So it's more like an insight you have, like now you both being female entrepreneurs. So it's like anything you would like to give a hint to your younger self. Anything that comes to mind? Maybe Natalia starts.
Okay, I'll start. I think it's just jumping into the idea, not having doubts. If you want to do something, don't measure it too much. Time is more important, and the more time you spend on thinking and evaluating, the more you can build in this period of time. So just don't wait too long. Start sooner than later.
Okay, super.
I would say for me, it would be to listen even more carefully to people.
Okay.
Especially to clever people.
Yeah, it's always good. I think I thank you. I've heard this one. It's like A people hire A+ people. I always love that one. You just try to get smarter people on the team than yourself. But it's really cool, and I'm super happy because I'm here. Full disclosure, I'm an LP in 2 funds which are invested in your company. So I'm getting more insights by the month. So I'm super happy. I'm super excited that I had the chance to talk to you both, and I keep my fingers crossed that you guys rock it, and I think you will. And all the best and good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sven. It was wonderful to talk to you. Thank you for believing in DRESSX. That's the first interview when a person told us that he's an investor. This is very special. Super cool.
Twice.
Twice, yes, exactly. So, we're super grateful for that to you.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you for supporting DRESSX and innovation.